If you a dude that don't watch sports, I bet the only exception is MMA, cause no one's that gay.
The way that the men try to shame you for not watching sports is scary, Loki.
Okay, now I have a question for men who don't watch football. Now I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to cast judgments. None of that. But what are you doing at 1:00 p.m. on Sunday?
We're spending time with our kids. We're hanging out with our babies. That's like a huge part of it. We're hanging out with our wives.
I don't understand how men don't watch sports. That just doesn't make sense to me. So, do you only experience heartbreak with women? Is that it?
If you're a guy and you're not into sports, a lot of times you feel like the odd man out. But I've always had this feeling that sports was part of political indoctrination.
Imagine if football was for women what football is for men. What do I mean by that? Imagine there was a show predominantly watched by women and its schedule took priority over almost everything else, even major holidays. On top of that, the content of the show heavily influenced the mood of every woman in the household. And to top it off, women weren't expected or obligated to cook, clean, interact with anyone else present, or do anything else while this show was on.
You know, like one of the things that will have every man in the patriarchy turn on you quick as a tick in the New York Minute is start talking about how you don't like sports or you don't watch sports. Start talking to men about how you don't watch sports, how you don't play video games, how you don't drink, how you don't smoke weed. Start talking to men about that stuff. Start talking to men about how, yeah, you know, I used to do that, but I grew out of it, or I used to do that, but I realized I needed to spend my time more wisely. I needed to refocus on my family. I needed to focus on self-improvement. I needed to decompress. You know, I needed to have more healthy outlets than riding the emotional roller coaster of sports or video games or sedating myself, you know, by the overconsumption of alcohol or marijuana or whatever. Like, talk to men about that. Oh my God, the men cannot take it.
If you a dude that don't watch sports, I bet the only exception is MMA, cause no one's that gay.
Bro, you know what type of nigga I hate, bro? The nigga that don't watch sports and like let it be known he don't watch sports and then like try to dumb down sports as a whole. Like, yeah, I don't watch sports. I'm not interested in running and watching guys run around up and down a court or a field getting sweaty. Like, bro, shut your bitch ass up. Like, just shut the fuck up, bro. And then on top of that, not only do they justify not watching any sport for that dumbass reason, them niggas don't be having no hobbies. Like, all right, bro, what are you into? Like, on God, like just real life NPC. Like, nigga, none of LeBron James's 50,000 points was interesting. None of them. Nothing. Nigga, Tyrese Halliburton playoff run wasn't just interesting at all. None of it. No, none of them buzzer beaters was just trash. And this is just me speaking on basketball. If that's the sport I watch, it'd be so much like, nigga, I be scrolling and it'll be like, nigga, a cold ass football catcher like Lil Juke or something. Like, I don't watch football, but like even seeing that shit, just like, nigga, that's tough. Like, and there's just no sport that you like at all. Lacrosse, you don't watch track, nothing, like synchronized swimming, anything. Like, you just don't fuck with sports. Like, you're a bot. You're a fucking bot. You're trying to be different. You're not different. You're a fucking loser. Like, on God, nigga, just be wanting to be different so bad. Like, shut the fuck up. And it's always that one line that I'm not interested in watching guys run back and forth getting sweaty. Like, bro, shut your bitch ass up. And I can say that because I used to feel the same way about NASCAR. On God, I'm like, nigga, I'm not watching niggas drive around in a circle for 2 hours, but like, nigga, that shit is actually a sport. Like, nigga, you really have to go through intense training, endurance. Like, you gotta damn near handle like G's and shit to drive a NASCAR and like cut up at 250 miles per hour with 20 other niggas in front of you. Like, nigga, that is a sport. Like on God, I have like a newfound respect for that shit. When I honestly watch a nigga like training and shit to be a NASCAR driver. Like, bro, open your fucking mind, bro. Stop trying to be so fucking different and just, I don't know, lock in and just be a man, bro. Like,
The men cannot take when men don't fall in line. Like, you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get attacked. You're gonna get attacked for not liking sports. For now, mind you, I grew up an athlete. I still watch sports. Like, I probably watch an hour of sports a week collectively. I can't sit down and watch a whole game. I've watched one whole football game this whole season. I went multiple years without watching any basketball games. I'm talking about playoffs, nothing. Maybe I'll watch maybe I'll watch like bits and pieces of a playoff game. I can't sit up and watch sports anymore. I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't trash it. I don't say the whole I don't try to be on it I just don't understand watching men sweat up and down the court. But I don't mind those people who feel like that either. They don't piss me off. They never did. You know what I mean? I would it is what it is. But they the way that the men try to shame you for not watching sports is scary, low key. It's just really funny because they really don't know what life is like without playing video games, watching sports, drinking alcohol, smoking weed. So many. It just goes to show you how addicted so many men are to these things. Again, as a man that used to be addicted to this shit, I used to drink all the time. I would watch sports, I would drink, I would smoke weed, I would play video games. I did all of that stuff. I know. But it's just so funny, having had not done that for a decade, not being addicted to any of those things for a whole over 10 years now, and just being free of it, and then listening to men who haven't done the work yet or haven't let it go, and they're like, what do you do with your time?
Okay, now I have a question for men who don't watch football. Now I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to cast judgments, none of that. But what are you doing at 1:00 p.m. on a Sunday? Because I know you go to church. Churches can be 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. I get all that. But guess what? You're normally out around 12:30, 12:45. So I need to figure out on a Sunday, what are you doing? I feel like Sundays was tailor-made for football. You have your Saturday and your Friday to go out with the family, do things, out in the public. But then on Sunday, that's the day before work. So you shouldn't even be out. You need to be at home getting your mind right for the next day. You need to be at home getting your mind right for work, right? So you're at home already. You already went to church or mass, wherever you go. What are you doing Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening that you can't watch football? I don't get it.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. His mind is blown. He's like, what do men do if they're not being distracted by these you know what I'm saying? By these dumbass, honestly, these things that are just not making your life any better. I got some examples for you. We're spending time with our kids. We're hanging out with our babies. That's a huge part of it. We're hanging out with our wives, going on strolls, reading books, laying with our dogs in bed, going to the park, doing things that we need to do. We're spending time with our women. We're spending time with our significant others. Some of us are going to the spa, eating charcuterie, laying up in jacuzzis with our women. You're telling me that watching football is more fun than playing with your babies, spending quality time with your significant other, and doing things that need to be done around the house. You're telling me football and basketball and baseball and soccer, you're telling me that shit is more rewarding? It's not. It's not even comparable. And I've done both. They're legitimately shocked. But I think this is funny because this is satire, but yeah.
I don't understand how men don't watch sports. That just doesn't make sense to me. So, do you only experience heartbreak with women? Is that it? You have no competitive edge in your fucking body? What do you and your boys talk about? What do you and your homies talk about? Fucking garage floorings? I don't understand it. This is the main topic of conversation with me and my friends is who the fuck threw for 350 yards on Sunday. What do you do with your life? I understand, oh, I'm too busy getting money. I got bread. oh, I'm too busy getting hoes. Women ain't an issue for me. I still gotta rot on the couch on Sunday, drink some beers, and watch football. I like to watch grown-ass men wrestling each other in tights. That's a little suspect to me. No, what's suspect to me is you're watching Grey's Anatomy on a Sunday when America's Game of the Week is on. I guarantee you, you're the type of person that starts clapping when the plane lands. I just don't understand what you and your homies talk about. Like, do you compare oat milk brands? What the fuck?
Now, I believe that this dude was being satirical. I ain't gonna even lie. But he touched on something that is definitely like an issue. What do your homies talk about when you guys aren't talking about pop culture and sports and bullshit like that? That's the question. And he's right. That's what most men want. We want to give us a reason to not talk about real shit. And that's why men's relationships are so fucking paper thin, because y'all spend all fucking day talking about sports. You spend all day talking about LeBron James. You spend all day talking about fucking Ronaldo and how many goals he scored, or the fuck sport you watch, right? Then you all hook up and drink, so you can't even fucking remember the shit y'all be talking about. Like, this shit is stupid. Or you sitting around playing video games, not talking about shit. Because when you're playing video games is not really bonding. I'm not gonna even hold you. And then playing video games is like going to the movies. You're not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not actually, you're doing something. You know, both of you guys are sharing an experience, but you're not like bonding, connecting with your words at all. You're observing. You're doing something. That's what it is. That's what's happening. And I'm here to tell you, as a man that has lived both lives, I can assure you that giving that shit up is way better than living, you know, for sports. And he said something also that was interesting. He said, you only want to experience heartbreak with a woman? Exactly. Who the fuck wants who men watch sports and it actually affects their demeanor. It affects their emotions. How sick is that? What the hell? And this is the part about sports that men don't even see, right? And this is, I 100% believe this is true. And if you listen to what the dude said in another video, he was talking about like you don't want to compete and yada yada yada. No, I don't want to compete. I want to figure out how to work in a community. I want to figure out how to be communal, more communal. I want to make more connections. I don't want to compete against anybody. Why do I need to compete with anybody when I can cooperate? And cooperation gets you 1,000 times further than competition. If everybody cooperated with each other, we would live in a utopia. If everybody is competing with one another, we live in fucking misery. We live in we live in the state we're in right now. What it looks like right now is everybody competing with one another. And this ain't right.
If you're a guy and you're not into sports, a lot of times you feel like the odd man out. But I've always had this feeling that sports was part of political indoctrination. And it's worth thinking about for a minute. Look at what people are trained to do from the time they're little kids. They pick a team and they stick to the team. They cheer for the team. They hate the opposition. And it's really based on nothing but a random alliance that you form. And I think when you look at high schools, you look at just US culture, power has recognized the role sports plays. And it's a kind of indoctrination because we see the same kind of behavior among people in politics, whether they're Republicans or Democrats. There's always a group of people who cultishly will support a particular leader no matter what they do, support whatever policy, even if it hurts their own interests. They reflexively are rooting for their team as if it's red or blue. I think Trump plays very strongly into that mentality and encourages it. And on the other hand, look at all the mental effort that a lot of guys put into knowing the statistics, having minute information about players, their records, forming fantasy teams. It would be dangerous if the same number of people put their mental energy, put their intelligence into analyzing political policies the same way. Imagine if that many people used that much energy to unpack that big ugly bill. That's why schools will cancel the theater, they'll cancel the plays, they'll cancel the music, but it's a lot less likely that they'll cancel football. It's about three things: group cohesion, two, obedience to authority, and three, forming emotional attachments to symbols, parties, and leaders.
And that's proven by the comments that men make when you don't play sports. When you don't play. Playing sports is different. I'm okay with you playing, it's exercise or whatever, as long as you don't take it too seriously. But like playing sports is fine. The consumption of sports though, right? When you listen to how men ostracize men who aren't in the cult of man or in the cult of sports, even because you can be in the cult of man and not be in the cult of sports, but that's a different layer. You know what I mean? Like there's different layers of the cult of man. It's like, to be in the inner circle, you have to consume alcohol, you have to play, you have to watch copious amounts of sports. You know what I mean? You have to be hyper masculine, you got to be violent, you got like that gets you in the inner core, right? And these are the men that will judge you if you're, for not giving a fuck about sports.
Men who have zero interest in any sports whatsoever are very abnormal. I'll be the one to say, how can you not watch a sport or play a sport? I'm not saying you have to be good at it or you have to be athletic at all, but how can you not enjoy a sport in itself? What do you do? What do you do instead? What do you do with your day? Do you wake up and just look at the ceiling? No football, no basketball, no rugby, no boxing, no MMA, nothing? I take the gym at this point, tennis. What do you do? I had a grown man once tell me he likes to play ultimate frisbee. I'd take that over someone playing no sports whatsoever. They were definitely the type of people back in secondary who wanted to skip PE, who wanted to sit out of PE. The bare minimum, the starter pack is football, at least in the UK. If you weren't playing football in secondary school or primary school, what were you doing? I'm the worst football player you ever meet. If I was on FIFA, I'd be rated a 2. I've got zero ball control, but I still played it in primary school and secondary school because it's what you do. It's a part of being a kid. And then I found sports I actually like doing and I'm actually somewhat decent at. Please put the video games down and pick up one sport. Just
I'm telling you, the men now. I can agree with the put the video games down part. I'm with that, but don't pick up a sport. I mean, playing a sport, watching a sport, you just see the they just don't understand. Like I have a 9-year-old son, and I couldn't care less if he plays sports. I couldn't care less. Like I was obsessed with playing sports when I was younger, but I'm not living vicariously through my son whatsoever. So maybe that's a part of it. Like, but I couldn't care less if my son doesn't like, you know what I mean? Like if he doesn't play sports, he likes sports, he plays them. He's like, oh, I want to do soccer now. He played soccer. He's in his like 5th year of soccer. He played baseball for 2 seasons. You know, he does jujitsu. I'm most excited about him doing drama. He's doing drama now. I'm like geeked that he's doing drama because I think that that's more his lane. I want him to do the things that I feel like align more with his personality. But like, I don't give a fuck if my son doesn't play sports. I'm not wondering what he's doing when he's not playing sports. I'm with him. I know what he's doing. He's on his iPad. He's talking to us. We're playing air hockey. We're playing in the pool. He's petting his dog. He's cleaning up his room. He's doing 10,000 more interesting things than playing a fucking sport or watching a sport. Most importantly, watching a sport stupid as fuck. It is. I'm not going to even lie. Like being consumed by it. It's okay to watch sports, but you got to do it in moderation. It's okay to play a sport. You can't be obsessed with it. It can't be taken away from your life, especially as an adult. A child, different. A child, you can play whatever, but men, I'm talking about grown adult men playing sports watching sports. I know dudes that play basketball, that play, you know what I mean? Like play pickup basketball, play softball. They're playing like 7 hours a week of basketball. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? The hell is wrong with you? You have kids, bro. You got a wife. Take your ass home. Imagine, imagine this, because this would be such a weird thing if we saw this.
Imagine if football was for women what football is for men. What do I mean by that? Imagine there was a show predominantly watched by women and its schedule took priority over almost everything else, even major holidays. On top of that, the content of the show heavily influenced the mood of every woman in the household. And to top it off, women weren't expected or obligated to cook, clean, interact with anyone else present, or do anything else while this show was on. A question was posed by a 21-year-old female who recognized how insane that one sport event can completely ruin an entire family's holidays. The comment section of this original video, men are getting very upset, very sensitive over this entire topic. The women of those men are also chiming in saying, no, I love it just as much as them. I don't want to do anything else, even on major holidays with my families. The women who aren't lying to themselves, are pointing out facts like that DV cases skyrocket during the Super Bowl. Other women are pointing out that, like men, if women were to do this, they would also be skipping major life events like weddings and other gatherings, so not to attend the show, but just to be able to watch the show. And again, for all the people who aren't lying to themselves, the general consensus is, men and women, that it is very bizarre. Men and women who are lucky enough to not have this in their life are sharing their stories. Marrying a man who doesn't watch sports and doesn't play video games was one of my best decisions. To which someone replied, but what does he do for fun, out of curiosity? And she said, me. The 21-year-old who asked this question, good job, I'm going to tag her where I can. To all of the men who are in the comments defending and getting pissed off that this was even, how dare we even imagine a world where this would be women who had some kind of sports event to watch where it literally took up all of our time and no one was allowed to interrupt us, just goes to show how this world was literally designed for men. Their wants. This isn't even a need.
It would be the way that men should watch sports is the way that women watch whatever. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be sexist here, but whatever women watch, I don't know. Whatever, keeping up with the Kardashians or whatever. Most women aren't most women don't miss out on life to watch TV. Most women don't buy the products. They are not, you know what I'm saying? They're not doing all the things, they're really not keeping up with the Kardashians. They might watch the show, but they're not, they're not. They just watch the show. That's how you should watch sports. That's what I was saying about men can't. It's again, as a man that casually watches sports now, it's fine. It's more than enough. Like I said, I watched one football game this season. It was my favorite team, the San Francisco 49ers, and they were playing the Los Angeles Rams. And I was this close to going to the game. I ended up deciding not to go at the last minute. But I just really wanted to watch this game for whatever reason. And guess what? It was the game of the fucking year. Consensus is it was the game of the year. I'm so happy y'all watched it. That's the one game I watched. I loved it. I fucking loved it. Right? That's it. I don't if I watch another game, cool. I didn't watch any games on Thanksgiving. I had them on. They were on. I watched a few minutes of it here and there. But guess what I was doing? I was spending time with my family. We were talking. We were playing air hockey. We were playing pool. We were all in the fucking sunroom listening to music, vibing, eating shit, drinking fucking sodas and shit. We sat at the table. We played Scrabble. We watched the kids play games. We talked to the babies. That shit is way better than sitting back fucking watching football that, bro. It's so much more fulfilling. I promise y'all it is, man. I promise y'all it is. It's better than drinking alcohol. It's better than smoking weed. It's better than playing video games. And it's definitely better than watching sports. Being present is better than all of that shit. 10,000 times over.